Welcome. Come on in. Just go ahead and share, tag, and invite. Go ahead and share, tag, and invite because we're getting ready to start our day 4. This is day 4 of 90. So we will have 96 more days to go. So come on in the room and go ahead and share, tag, and invite. Because tonight we're going to talk about the aura in the heart process. And the aura is readiness, relevant, and realistic. So go ahead and share, tag, and invite, checking to see whether we have any questions. Hello, Gwendolyn. Hello, Aretha. Thank y'all for coming in. Go ahead and share, tag, and invite. And how's everyone doing? Have y'all been on the page and to see the different information? And I just want to give you the rules for tonight. The rules that you have to show some hearts, whether you're showing it in your comments or whether you're showing it by hitting the emoji. So we're this heart-to-heart conversation, and I'm Dr. Pat, and I am the PHAT Nutritionist, and that's pursuing health and transformation. So our rules now, that I need to see a lot of hearts. I need to see engagement. I need in the comment. I need all over my page. But then I want you to lean in tonight because this is a huge part of your process as you're pursuing health and transformation, because we're at that stage that we want to see whether you're ready. So how many of you are ready? And it's certain things as it's a process of getting ready. And if you are honest with yourself, if you're authentic, then you're going to say that it took me a while to get to the point where I am consistent. So it is a stage that we go through. So the aura in this decision tonight, we're still in that 7-day window where it's about making a decision. So we want to continue to make that decision about where you are and where you want to go. So in this decision process, the aura is to make a decision, and that you're going to be a hearer and a doer. You're not just going to hear the information that I'm presenting, but you're going to apply the information. You're going to act on the information. So you're going to be a hearer and a doer. And so one of my quotes is that faith is moving forward even when things don't make sense. You got to trust that in the hindsight, everything will become clear. If you follow the process, it's going to take time. But tonight it's about readiness. It's about relevant. And then it's about being realistic. But to thine own self be true. So our aura is that scripture is from James 1:23-26. But if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he's like a man who is intently at his natural face in the mirror. And for he looks at himself and goes away, and then he forgets what he looks like. So I want you to go through the process. It is a process. Change is a process. So the word of God is very powerful, and it contains all of the practical, it contains spiritual wisdom that we need. So we need the wisdom. We need the principles, but then we're going to have to apply the information. But the problem happens when we just read the word. Now, don't get me wrong, that reading the Bible will help you, will build your faith. But you not only got to read the word, but you're going to have to apply the word. Hello, Constance. Thank you for coming in. And it said, but power comes in when we use that time. See how when you're reading the word, you're meditating on the word, then you're using that time for reflection. See, it's always a self-evaluation, a self-assessment. And I thank you for going through the process, because it's a process. That's why we're doing 60 days. It's not a rush to get in to tell you what you can have, what you can't have, what you can do. No, it has to be a mindset to get you in a position where you have made this decision. Because I'm believing after these first 7 days, you have made that determination, that decision that I'm going to persevere. So, but the one who looks into the perfect law, the law of liberty, and persevere, being not a hearer. See, I just don't want it to be a lot of words that I'm just saying, and that you're not applying the words. You're not applying the principles. You're not looking back over the H when we started with the heart health and honoring God. And you can never forget about the E where you're going to eat, you're going to exercise, you're going to enjoy your fluids. And last night we talked about the attitude of a winner. So tonight it's talking about the readiness, relevant, and for change. And see, because if you've been inside of the group, you can see that I placed a copy of an accountability form. That once we go through these 7 days, you will see how each day you need to get that form, and then you need to develop that habit of looking at that form. And every day, it's not just the day that I'm looking at just my readiness, but every day I want to be accountable to this heart process. Every day I will ask myself the questions on that form. Every day I will do a self-evaluation, assessment to see where I am, to see how I can move forward. Constant, are you a member of Heart2Heart Conversation with Dr. PHAT? I just posted on there. I also kind of post part of the declaration from last night, where y'all can declare some things over your life. Because, you know, even with a healthy lifestyle, because it's about behavior modification, that we declare the word when we're talking about financial breakthrough, supernatural debt cancellation. We declare the word when we're talking about our sickness. We would need a house, a car, and all these things. But I need you to get into a place that you declare what God says about you over your life on a regular and a daily and a consistent basis. So it's in there. So I post that in there, I believe today. And I'm also going to post a readiness scale where you would do, excuse me, a self-evaluation to see where you are in the process for change. See, because there are some stages that you go through. So but sometimes, you know, we read the word, that even with some things with our faith, and that's why your faith's got to be elevated in everything. And so, because sometimes we say we're reading the word, we're studying the word, and sometimes it seems like there's a disconnect. But a lot of time the disconnect is that we read the word, but we don't comprehend the word. And see, because you have to read with comprehension. And I want you to hear. I want your ears to be open to hear. And that's why I'm giving you small bites at a time so that you can grab it, so that when you get to running in the next week or the next week, then you're going to find out that, you know, I laid the foundation. I have my foundation set. So that's why I'm taking this opportunity to go over this and not putting pressure to move forward with this or to do that. So the disconnect can happen in two ways: that you reading or you listening without comprehension. And then guess what? And then you don't apply what you are hearing. So it has to be a practical application, that as we going through and as you learning new principles and new behaviors, you're going to have to start applying that to your daily life. So I heard it said, and I have said it myself, that we need head knowledge to become heart knowledge in order for us to move forward. But now I disagree on that. We need knowledge and we need action. You're going to have to know. And that's what we're presenting you with, the knowledge. Because you can have all of the knowledge, all of the skills, but then if you don't act on what you heard, see, you're going to have to take this information and you're going to have to apply it to your life. See, you need to have the knowledge, and then you're going to have to act on and apply it. Every day you're saying it's an application. It's an application. I'm going to apply the heart principle. And I did it, and God gave it to me in the heart principle to make it easy. That when you look at the word every day, I'm saying, I'm seeking God with my whole heart. Therefore, every day, I'm going to check myself to see whether I'm heart healthy, whether I'm honoring God. And that's where, whether you're reading the word, you know, I'll make a recommendation. It's my book, but you can do your Bible study. But this can be a good way that you can have a tool that every day that you're reading, you're honoring God, that you're reading through the process, because it's a 90-day to becoming fit by God's design. And then you on your E, then you're seeing whether I'm journaling. See, because you're eating right now. I just want you to write down what you're eating. And then you're looking back over it. And see, because you'll be able to look back to see. And because I want you to be able to make the necessary changes. You have the book Constant. Thank you. Did you get it off Amazon? If you did, anyone who received my book off of Amazon, would you go and do a review for me? Because it is an Amazon bestseller. It went up the chart. So I thank God for that. And I give God the glory for that, because he's the one who allowed me, that graced me to do that. But back to this, you're going to have to apply it. And see, I want you to be independent. It's not dependent on me holding your hand. I want you to learn these processes that is second nature. I get up, I'm checking my heart. Just like you go automatically brush your teeth or take a shower, I want you to get in a habit of that. I'm going to check my heart. And when you're saying I'm checking my heart, I'm checking to see whether I'm heart healthy, whether I'm honoring God. Did I read my word? Did I meditate? Did I pray? And then the E part, did I eat correctly? Did I journal? Did I exercise? I think that all of this is on that accountability tool. That accountability tool will help guide you through that process until it becomes second nature. And that accountability tool is to help aid you in this process. But the best type of process is for you to understand it's all about you, to make it personal. Everything that we're doing, it is personal. So now we're going to go into the behavior modification. And before we can go and see whether it's relevant, whether it's realistic, I need you to do an examination for you to be self-aware. Am I ready? What stage am I in to change? Because there is a model that we look at that we can determine whether it's whether you want weight loss, whether you're drinking, whether you were smoking, whether you're trying to change a habit. There are some stages that you go through. And so you need to know what stage you're in. So permanent weight loss with behavior modification. These are stages when we're saying we want to know whether you're ready. See, God, we say, get ready, get ready, get ready. And it's easy to say that. But to thine own self be true, you have to determine where you are in the process. So insight to action. I want you to understand that change is gradual. I have been saying for almost 3 decades, and y'all know what I always say, that one chocolate chip cookie never made anyone fat. And I said that no matter what program that I'm on, that I still can fit it into that, because I can have a chocolate chip cookie. See, you got to look at it and see what's relevant to you. So part of what I mean is that strict avoidance. That you're saying, you know, this is something that you like and something that you're having a hard time and something you can't live without. Then if you're saying I'm going to strictly avoid that, but you know that's not in your heart. See, this is where you had to have a behavior modification, that you're going to change it. Like if you were eating fried foods 3 times a week, but you still have a propensity that I love fried food. Why don't you decrease it to 2 times a week? until you can decrease it to 1 time a week. So it's a behavior modification, because part of what I mean when I talk about that chocolate chip cookie, yes, I have a proclivity for chocolate chip cookies. I like them right out the oven with the chocolate chip just, hot. I'm just real. See, I'm your real dietitian. And God said to talk to real people who lives in a real world and ready for real change. And in order for you to be ready, then you're going to have to be true to yourself. So when you're saying these strict avoidance, I done been on, how many of y'all done been on all these fad diets? I know we talked about that yesterday, and it says that you're going to avoid all of these, or the low carbohydrates, or the high carbohydrates, or the no carbohydrates, or the high fat, and all these different diets. But is it relevant? Is it realistic to say that I will eat like this the rest of my life? I don't know about you, but I love food. Can y'all be real? And so you just have to find a way. And this is what this process is all about. It's about changing behaviors, making behavior modification for life. And that's lifelong impact for every day. And it can be a lifelong impact for everyone. So when you do these strict avoidance of specific foods and you're so rigid, then those roadblocks, those milestones, they're going to hinder your success. You may be successful for that time period, but when it comes to reality, can you do that for a lifetime? So you need to be looking at things that you can make changes for a lifetime. Permanent lifestyle change is flexible. And see, you got to be flexible. And you have to know that there's different choices, and that what may be appropriate for you, Constant, or Karen, or Gwen, may not be what I like. So what I do in my consultant practice, that's where on the individual basis, I take what you're doing, and then we're going to see how we can modify that, but still we're going to put it into some things that you may like. Because you may not like the broccoli and the cauliflower and the carrots and all those different things. So what we have to determine, what are some practical changes? What are some flexibility that I can have that I'm still going to enjoy some of the foods I like, and I'm still changing behaviors. So it's a matter. So you have to know when you're looking at permanent, we're not looking at a quick fix. It's flexible, ongoing process. When we're talking about for life, it's an ongoing process with your mind, your body, and your spirit. So it's a matter of responsible choices. It's all in the choice. And that's why we're making decision. Make decision. Do I see some hearts that we're making a decision, and our choices for a long time effort? Achieving it means not only a healthier, fitter body, but it's going to give you inner strength that makes it last. So there are some changes, and there have been some study on these different changes. So I'm going to go over the different stages. And as I go through the different stages, if that's you, I want you to raise your hand, and then we may do a little question and answer session, because in these changes, it's at each stage is important and determine your success or your outcome. Each stage, but you have to know what stage am I in. So skipping a stage, see, because I done been there. I skipped over and I jumped over into the active stage. And I didn't allow my mind, my body, my spirit to process the other stages. And guess what? There was some relapse that occurred because I did not go through. I didn't realize that there was a process. It is a process. Change is a process. So the first stage is resistant. How many of you been on a stage that I just don't want to hear nothing? Don't talk to me about eating right. Don't talk to me about exercising. I'm just resistant, and I'm just in that pre-contemplative. I'm just in that stage where I don't want to hear it. In this stage, you may not even believe that change is right for you. Yes, sometimes you don't even believe that. Contemplation, I'm in that pre-contemplation stage, and that I'm generally satisfied with the way, I don't put it in my head, in my mind, in my spirit, that I'm satisfied. Now when I tell you, because God has given me a mandate to tell you that yes, you are enough. But you are enough as you move through the process. You are enough to accomplish your God-given kingdom assignment. But when I say that, it's not to keep you in a place of complacency, procrastination, or stagnation. You are enough because God says you're enough. But don't be in this stage where it's generally satisfied with the way things are and does not have any intention. Have you ever worked with some people? They don't have no intention. And I know, just like in the group now, I think we have maybe 300 people in here. And so we have a lot of them that may be in this here area. And they contemplating, this a pre-contemplation, whether I want to change. And they're watching, but they're not changing. But sometimes you got to leave them where they are, because they're listening. They're watching you change. They're looking at the process. They're looking to see whether you're consistent. So you can't push them too hard, because it's saying that I see you, but I'm not ready to change yet. So they'll make excuses. I don't have time to exercise or eat well. It's too difficult. It's time consuming. And it's that people at this stage, they avoid talking about or even thinking about changing their behavior, and they will appear unmotivated. Because you know what? To thine own self be true. You know what? God had to quicken me. I said, because, I'm calling myself Dr. Pat, you're the PHAT Nutritionist. And I don't fit the mold. I don't fit the model of what a dietitian or nutrition may look like. But he told me you are enough. And I have gifted you to talk about it. And so sometimes we're in our own way. So I want you tonight, get out of your own way. God has greatness inside of you, because everyone is not built the same. So get out of that pre stage, and then we're going to move into the next stage. So people at this stage, they avoid talking. So until this person, you can talk. And just like I know in I Fit for the Kingdom for Life, and there are some that are engaging, but there's a lot that's on the sideline just watching. So it's until they see their behaviors in some ways are odd, or with their personal goals and striving, they would not likely move from that stage unless there may be a medical emergency. Or if they're saying, I got a wedding, I'm going to my family reunion, or something that's personal to them, that it doesn't matter what you do in that group. And that's why, I always tell, the people that I mentor, don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about the comments, the shares. If you can impact one person, focus on that one person. Don't focus on those that hadn't even made a decision to change, because there's a lot of people out there watching. But I'm called to those who are ready to move forward. So that second stage is that after eventually we pray, eventually they may get in discomfort, and it'll lead to that second stage. And it's where I'm going to be in contemplation. Hello, Sis Ples. John, I eat McDonald's every day. Please help. Well, that's a decision. I need you to go into Heart2Heart conversation with Dr. Pat. I need you to listen at my first 3 days, because we're in the stages of making a decision. It is a choice. But guess what? You can eat at McDonald's, and if that's all, and with your time constraint, that they have the nutritional analysis, that you still can find something that may be nutritionally adequate. They may have something that a little better than what it was, if you were eating all of the Big Macs, and you're seeing those are like 2,000 or 3,000 calories, and you can make some changes. That's what we're talking about, behavior modification, because I understand that sometimes with a busy schedule, that you may be working and then you're taking care of family and going to school, and a McDonald's may be an option. It may be your only option. So what I do, I take what you're doing, and then we're going to try to work within the confines of what you can do. And then we're going to look at menus. We'll do menu planning, and we'll select the best for you. So you don't, we don't went from, hey, don't talk to me. Now you contemplate and you say, I'm about ready to get moving, and even in these stages, you think about with the salvation process that some people go through all these same stages because it's a life altering event. So now after they done had, because when they done had a heart attack, or they done been in the hospital, then they contemplating like, yeah, I better do something. So it leads to that second phase. And here they began to accept the problem, and then they start trying to solve it. But are you ready to act? They're not ready to act, but they just want to plan it out. I'm planning it out. I'm planning. How many of y'all been around somebody just playing? But now it's time to act. But they contemplate it. So they don't move from that first phase. So how many of you are in the contemplation? I'm just thinking about it. And that's why I'm allowing you to process. We started on Monday, and here's Thursday. This is day 4. Allowing you the opportunity, because all this week is about making a decision. See, you're making a decision, and tonight we're checking your readiness stage to see whether you're ready to move forward. And I will put a questionnaire in the group so you can do it yourself, because what I would like is that for each and every one to be responsible. This is a journey to you, for you. See, because it's about you. And so you're going to have to independently make this decision. So you think about your behaviors, and then you look at what I'm doing. It's no longer satisfying. When I was at the other stage, it didn't matter. I felt like I'm okay. I'm good enough. I don't need to make no changes. But then it could have been something that happened in my life, or I don't got past 40 or 30, or, I got married and I need to make some changes. So I'm contemplating. So this is a very important period in your life. So how many are at the contemplative stage that I'm saying, I know I need to change, and I'm writing it down? And in this stage, just think about the process. That sometimes it may take 6 months. And that's what I tell people, that wait until, where are the hearts? I need some hearts. Where are the people that always want to start in January? You start in January, but you hadn't went through that. You may not even really get going until June. If you don't go through these stages, you will bypass these process, and you'll start to be in that action stage, and then you're going to lose ground. You'll act on it for a little while, and then because you didn't do this self-examination, you didn't check yourself to see that I go through these stages. See, so in the second stage, it's an important stage. I'm thinking about it. I'm contemplating everything, the pros, the cons, the good, the bad. I'm contemplating, what do I need to be healthy? And it says sometimes it could take 6 months. So this stage is marked with ambivalence and a weighing of the pros and the cons. And sometimes people are watching you, and they may never say anything. They may never appreciate you, may never affirm you to say, because you persevered, because you didn't give up, that I kept on going, that I kept on moving forward, because I was in that ambivalent, and because I was in that contemplative stage, and because you didn't stop and you allowed me to watch your progress, and I analyzed everything. And so now I'm ready. So there are some people are watching you and watching how you're carrying yourself. So in this stage, you may not necessarily be actively searching for answers. You're just listening. You're open. You're paying attention. See, because there may be some that's on the line. And you know what? I'd rather people to be honest and true, so that I can help engage you to move you into that next stage. Now that third stage, it involved the decision. See, after you done contemplated, you done weighed out the pros and cons, and then you're ready to move into that third stage. And that third stage involved the decision. I have made the decision to change, and I'm actively preparing. See, I believe that if you're on this line tonight, that you're in the preparation stage, that you're preparing, that I done contemplated, I done looked, I done watched, and now I'm preparing. That all of the information that's going forward with all of the forms and the different things, that I'm in a stage of preparation. It's creating a climate where positive change can occur. Only after the first 3 phases are you ready. Only, listen at that. Only after the first 3 stages. You done contemplated, pre-contemplated, you're in the preparation. Now you want to move into action. And see, when you get in that stage, it's that while the action stage is the only phase that most people think about or they notice. See, because you'll be saying, well, they ain't changed nothing, and I'm exercising, nobody exercise, or I'm doing these lives and nobody come on the live. But they may have been in that stage. They going through the process. So I want to encourage you to allow people. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to allow you to go through the process. And I need you to tell me where are you? What stage are you in? So is somebody pre-contemplated stage? If somebody's in there, I'm just thinking about it. I'm not ready, but I'm thinking about it. And then it's in the preparation stage. See, because when you do that self-assessment, that self-questionnaire, you're going to have to be honest with yourself to see where I'm at, to see how I can move forward. So research shows that most successful changers have spent a considerable amount of time in the first 3. The first 3. That may sound like, really? They done spent considerable amount of time. Because in that time, they done had time to weigh it out, to see whether I'm ready. I don't want to waste nobody's time. I was in the pre-contemplated stage, and I just wasn't ready. But I gradually worked through, and I contemplated it. I was looking, watching, reading, studying, and I looked at the pros. I looked at my con. Then I was in a preparation stage where I may have purchased. See, you go purchase this book, Fit by God's Design Review. You may have purchased you a journal. Be in that preparation. Okay, Destiny, you're in the preparation stage where you're obtaining your material so that when you go in that action stage that you have what you need. So have y'all got a journal that you can go ahead and start writing? Because, I do this, I can talk about my stuff. Nobody can get mad, but this is what God has given me, Fit by God's Design. And so my program that I'm going over is kind of built upon this journal, this planner. And so as we progress, then we'll go into the book to do some of your big goals, some of your little goals. But tonight is not about goals, because you're going to have to know where your mind is at first and whether you're ready for change. So the action, now that you're prepared, is everybody prepared? You can have your Bible, or you can have Relentless Believers of Prayer. See, because, if any of y'all done watched and looked at the accountability tool, then it's going to ask you that question. So this would help guide you through that process. Or if you have another, you can do a Bible study, just as long as you're spending that time to honor God. So in the action stage, it involved doing it. How many in the action stage? That means doing it. Now, we have a fitness group. Because when we're saying doing it, we mean I want you active, I want you engaged, I want you involved. And it called I Fit for the Kingdom for Life. And I want you to act on it, or whether you don't join a gym or you're doing a fitness routine or exercise, you're going to have to do it. If you're in that action stage, action involves doing it. Join a gym, Commit to walking daily. Now, on the accountability, I did some brief goals on there because I know some people that even though we're talking about going through the stages, they like, she ain't talked about eating, exercise, or any fluid. So I did that because I heard your voice. So on there, the first thing is you write down everything you eat. And then the exercise, give me 30 minutes of that. And then your fluids, drink 8 to 10 cups of it. But we're going to expound on that because you're acting now. See, because after you have determined where you are. All right, Constant, you're in the action stage. Yes. Do I see some hearts? Give me some hearts for those in the active stage. And it says that you decide to start feeding yourself regular balanced meals and you begin doing it. Action means you're doing it. You're applying those principles. You succeed. Get this here. Remember, I want you to always remember from last night when we had the attitude of a winner that you're never going to succeed 100% of the time. So that's a part of your process of learning, your process of growing. So if you get stuck and you can perfect 50 squats, that's when you need to go and fail at 75 so that you're stretching yourself. So don't think that I'm going to do everything 100% correctly. I'm going to be on the top of my game every day, 365 days of the year, 24 hours a day. No. That's not reality. So you said you succeed some and you slip up some. But the thing about it in the active stage, you stick with it through thick, through thin, and you remain relentless by the inevitable relapse. Because you understand. See, because 1 week we're going to talk about how to overcome relapse and setback because it's going to happen. Even in the word of God in 1 Corinthians 10 and 13 says there's no temptation that has seized you except that which is common to man. But God is faithful. He will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, because I want to tell each and every one of you, temptation is out there. There are some things that it doesn't tempt me. But if they start out here, we need to get that troll out of here because I don't need to be hearing about what it smelled like. If somebody can get him out of here. Why do people do that? So I want y'all to do just give me some hearts because we're going to get some trolls in here because they're not pleased about what you're doing. And so if it smelled like that, then it's something may be dead inside. You may, and I'm being real with you now. It may be that you need to detox. You may need to go through a process of fasting because something may have stayed in your gut just a little too long. And now when you release that flatulent, because that's a part of life. And I'm serious with you, Brad, that it could be a part of your diet. Yes. And I apologize. You might have had a real question over there. Yes. And it could be something that's dead up in you and needs to be cleansed and purged out of you. You may need some more fruits and vegetables, not just those popcorn. Those popcorns have a propensity to cause things to get stuck in your digestive tract, and it could cause you to get clogged up. And so what goes in needs to come out. So y'all to move me over there now. But after you're active, then there's something called maintenance. I can do, I'm gonna have to get him out of here because he's talking some other things that, but we're gonna let him just go on in there. Maintenance stage, after you go through being active, and you have done that consistently. When we're talking about active, we mean that you're not skipping a beat. You're active for at least 6 months, that you're in that program and you continue to go on and on and on and on. And so now you're in the maintenance stage. And this is where you have sustained your action. And then it segues you into what they call maintenance. And see, this can be one of the most challenging areas because, you know, I have come all the way across here and now I'm trying to maintain. See, because that's where a lot of people trip up, trying to maintain. Hello, Karen. Thank y'all for coming in. So the action and maintenance, this stage can last for months. You can be in this stage for months. It could be years, but eventually it's culminate into a real integration. And so in between where you terminate the program, you have to learn about, because a lot of time when you get to maintenance, then it's something called relapse and setback. And so you have to prepare for that. So that last stage, it says the light at the end of the tunnel. That's when termination. That means that I have accomplished it. It's second nature. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to. I'm not having those proclivities to quit. I don't have the proclivities to stop. And that I have created a lifestyle, whereas I'm incorporating some things that I like into this program. So you know you're there when you have gone beyond behavior modification. Behavior modification is change. So what does this mean for you? If you're resisting change or contemplating it but not ready to act, give yourself a break. That's why we're going through the process. Pat yourself on the back and put yourself around people, around places and things that affect you positive. See, I need those that maybe just new to the group, go and listen at day 1, 2, and 3. Getting away from your daily grind and putting yourself into a safe, supported atmosphere. People that on the same road that you're on. That's saying, yes, you can do it. You can relentlessly pursue. So help me not only. So this is one thing that I was going to declare over you that you can declare. So Lord, help me not only be a hearer, but a doer to glorify you in my food choices, in my worship, and in my exercise. Father, I don't want to view healthy eating and exercise as a punishment. My desire is for more of you and less of me. Allow me to rest in the comfort of your unfailing love and your new mercies every morning as I become self-aware of the things that is hindering or blocking me from advancing through the stage of change. I declare, see, you're going to have to put it on your mouth and lip. I declare that I'm willing to hear and apply the principles that are presented to me so that I can accomplish my God-given kingdom assignment to pursue health and transformation while creating habits intended for change. Father, I declare that I will not be bound by my indecision and a resistance to change, and I will continue on this journey to find me and to become fit and fat by God's design. I declare that I am enough and I am a winner. Glory to God. So I'm gonna need you to go in. That those that might have had some technical problem, or we had some trolls in there, and so we're just gonna have to get him out of here. But tonight, your homework is to do a self assessment, self examination to see what stage am I in. Because on tomorrow night, we're going to be trusting the process. We're going to be transparent. We're going to know that it's going to take time. So that would be the 5 days. And when we're coming in on Monday, we're coming in excited. We're coming in with plans to move forward. So do I have any question from anyone besides about the losing the manners? Any question? But I always know that what I do when I send out the invite, that you can go ahead and submit your question. And I try to do a post every day to let you know what we're going to talk about. So under that post, only under that post, put your question. And that way I will be prepared to try to answer your question. But I do a post every day. There's a different post Monday through Friday. And so make sure it's relevant to what we're speaking on today. And then I can answer that question during our broadcast. So do we have any question, any comments? Can I get some hearts before I leave out of here? Give me some hearts. Give me some hearts. And I just thank you for all your patience as we're on this journey. This is our 4th day, and we have 86 more days as we pursue health and transformation. I am Dr. Patricia James, and I am your PHAT Nutritionist. And my mission is to build champions for the kingdom, to empower you, to maximize your potential, to ignite your passion, that you may fulfill your purpose, to activate your faith so that you can lead with excellence and walk in total fitness in your mind, your body, and your spirit, with a mandate that, yes, guess what? You are enough. So can I get some hearts as we get ready to leave? I just need some hearts. Give me some hearts. The hearts is saying I'm engaged. The hearts is agreeing. The hearts is saying I'm ready for this change. The hearts is saying I'm a hearer, and not just I'm a hearer and a doer. And I'm going to practice and apply the principle. But when I place this, I place the accountability. So next week, it's going to be like, okay, who want to come in and tell me about their accountability? Did you do it? See, it maybe, because we're going to do some challenges to come into the group, because I want you to be able to be interactive. I want you to be able to understand the process, because it's a process and it's going to take time. So from my heart to yours, you be empowered to prosper and have good success. See you live at 5.